So I just saw the final episode of RWBY Volume 9, Episode 10, which on the last episode is a part 1, but now it's going to be part 2 of the finale, by which is actually longer than it actually is, says the writer. So now we're going to see what's going to happen to Ruby when she returns, and what's going to happen if they actually made it back to Remnant. So here is the final review of RWBY Volume 9, Episode 10. So the final episode begins with Summer, who actually has her full appearance in the episode, finishing the story of Alex to Ruby and Yang, which she said that she loved them the way they are, which of course, leaving her crest on top of the book next to Ruby, which it does say holds a mother's promise. Knowing how Ty met up with Summer, knowing that she's going on another mission for Ozpin, knowing how he loves to keep secrets, but knowing how he actually knew where she's really going, by which we see how Raven have actually met up with Summer, knowing how she knew where she's going, which she say that leaving her children behind isn't her style, which she's the one to talk because she was also the one who left Yang as well. But we can tell how they actually go to the portal knowing what could happen. But back to the present of knowing how she lied after seeing what had happened. Knowing what Ruby have learned, she smashed the case, knowing of what she really wants, but what the swordsmith tells her is what she really wants of who she wanted to become. Thus, we see how the team battling Neo, possessed by the Curious Cat, which of course, knowing how this could be trouble. But we see from John, after switching to his old age to his young age, saying from Alex, who actually knew how what he could have done, but knowing have learned what could actually mean. But we heard that he have saw that the leaves who actually can cause hallucinations, thus which they actually burn the leaves, which of course doesn't affect the cat, but it does affect Neo in her body, which we knew how the image of Ruby, Cinder, her parents, and even Roman, who actually is taking the effect on her. But we see how he exited her body, knowing that she grows into a gigantic form, knowing how he is going to battle them. But Ruby is still trying to figure out what she really wants until she saw Crescent Rose, and she heard from her mother's voice saying that she loves them the way they are. But hearing her voice again, knowing that she actually chooses herself, which she actually exited her shell and now getting ready to battle the Curious Cat, with everyone excited to hear her and see her again. But which we knew how they are actually getting ready to defeat the Curious Cat with the team attacks all coordinated and beautiful. as they defeated it once and for all, which we knew that they won't allow him to leave. Thus, the Jabberwockers have actually came and eat the cat controlled by Neo, knowing how she doesn't want to leave, knowing how she actually has some sins to atone, which Roland actually knew what she has to do and tells her that he's not real, which she actually have ascended to the tree, which she actually a part of it. So now we see what Little has become when Ruby mentions her name, which she goes from a small mouse to a big mouse, of course, knowing how she have clothing and is a hero, which they don't, which she doesn't remember, but they actually call her Soa. So John asks her to take care of Juniper, which she needs someone to take care of, which we knew that he leaves her behind. As they enter the portal, we knew that they met the blacksmith, knowing how they learned about the brothers, meaning the gods, which they actually were created, which they actually have purposes for the ever after, which they destroy anything in this path and create new things, thus creating the Jabberwockers, where we knew that helping them is what actually has they did, which happens to Little, and what happens to those who couldn't keep their promise, like when Alex didn't deliver her promise to the cat. Thus, he became what he is, meaning that she gave the dagger to John, which reverted back to his original age, where she opens the portal towards where they need to go. But it's not where it leads them, it's when they needed the most, which they headed towards the portal, which we see how Yang and Blake are still a couple as they made it towards the portal, as well as the rest, which it leads them to Vacuo. Thus, they actually made it just in time, which we knew how they are going to battle the other Grimm and join in with the others. And at the end of the episode, we see the trailer for the RWBY X Justice League crossover movie, which is a trailer that is so beautiful. And we knew that we could get Volume 10, but it hasn't been greenlighted yet. However, I do love Volume 9, which is actually beautiful. Thus, we see the final battle between Team RWBY returning, as well as John return to his old age, defeat the Curious Cat. Thus, I love all the episodes. Mine, personally, is when Bumblebee became canon at last, and they finally kiss, which the fans are really happy to see. In which also how Ruby came into the ever after feeling guilt, but pushed all that aside. So now I really hope to see what's going to happen on Volume 10, where they actually goes to Vacuo. And I really cannot wait to see the new RWBY Justice League movie as well. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the final episode of Volume 9. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and my Facebook page and Twitch. Until then, this is Anime Godrian here saying signing out. Laters, and be safe.